(2017-364) State of Arkansas versus Keith Trivett. Mr. Trivett's down for trial the week of March 26th with a reappearance ordered for February 22nd for pretrial hearings. And then there's a March 22nd date that would be a plea deadline. Do we have any what's the status of the case at this point? Have we completed discovery?
The status of both cases is exactly the same. Plea offers have been made, and if Mr. Trivett will come in and visit with me, then I'll be happy to go over those with him, as well as his file.
Yeah, Mr. Trivett, I'm ordering you to get in to see Mr. Cooper before that February 22nd date. You know, because it's a court order, failure to do so can result in you being jailed for not, if you don't do that. So make your call to his office, get an appointment, and get in to see him. All right?
Sure.
All right. You may be excused. 2017-368, State of Arkansas versus Kimberly Rowe. Ms. Rowe's case is in the same status as the previous one. It's set for trial during the week of March 26th, plea deadline March 22nd, and pretrial hearings are set for February 22nd. Are we moving forward?
At this point, there's no action to take today. I don't want this case recalled, please, but I would like for Ms. Rowe to wait until there is a break, because I do want to go over her plea statement with her. And okay, she says she has an appointment to see me. There's no reason for her to stay, Judge.
Okay. We'll have the case will be, their next appearance in court is February 22nd.
Okay.
You may be excused. 2017-376, State of Arkansas versus Corin Johnson.
And there's no action to take in Mr. Johnson's case. He is on a scheduling order. As in the last three cases, I would ask that Mr. Johnson get in and see me.
Mr. Johnson, you're down for trial during the week of March 26th. You're down for pretrial on February 22nd, which is your next date to actually appear in court. And so I'm ordering you at this point to get in to see your counsel sometime between now and February 22nd, and it'd be better if it was earlier in the month of February rather than later, or as soon as you can make an appointment. So contact the public defender's office, make an appointment, and then keep that appointment. All right?
Sir.
And that's a court order. So.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson also has a pending revocation in Marion County that's going on.
I'd forgotten until you said that, but yes, he does. All right. You'll need to be present whenever you've been ordered to appear on that as well. So, all right. You may be excused at this time. 2016, 391. And 2017, 184, State of Arkansas versus Rachel Calloway.
You know, I just advised Mr. Etheridge that we received a call this morning from Ms. Calloway. And in talking to her and a friend at her house, I was advised that she had had a heart attack recently and that she had been hospitalized, what I was told, for 6 days. I asked for some sort of written verification, which I don't have.
The case is set for trial next Monday.
Your Honor, we'll try to get further verification. If we cannot get verification, then I will try to get her here. Don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll try.
All right, let me see. I'm just seeing when was her last contact with the court. back in September of last year, she entered a waiver of jury trial. Have we?
So that was the intention I had thought, Your Honor, to try her to the bench if we were unable to resolve this matter.
You know, at this point, we have not. I think that if she's not going to be here, then I didn't get the impression that she would not be able to stand trial even sometime next week.
Okay. Did you understand that to be a request to continue her case?
Yes, I did. But since it's a waiver to the court, I still think we could look for dates that, at least to try the oldest case.
Well, she had both cases were down for trial, and so
Your Honor, neither one of these are cases that are based upon that posture of being tried to the bench. It would take us long to do. If we need to, Your Honor, it's one of those cases, we could probably try one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The only issue, we would need to have a little advance notice so I can have my crime lab people available for conference, Your Honor.
given the nature of the request, I'm gonna, and the fact that she's not here and is asserting basically she can't be there due to health reasons, I would like medical verification of that. I'm going to continue the case till the week of March 26th as an excluded period, and order her to reappear on February 22nd if she's able.
You know, I was told
I mean,
that
she did contact
she
your
did,
office.
Judge, and I talked to her and myself. We received something from Home Health. I think it's from Home Health. We can't really tell. Her doctor is Dr. Lance Lincoln. So we'll do our best to get verification to the court.
Okay.
And to Mr. Etheridge.
Well, I'm not going to issue a warrant at this point, but we need to have some ongoing communication maintained, or I will, in fact, issue a warrant. It's now set, continued to the week of March 26th as an excluded period with reappearance ordered for February 22nd. That'll be the order of the court. Court calling 2017-30 and 2017-54 State of Arkansas versus Dennis Rome. Mr. Cooper, you spoke to me earlier about this case, and we were discussing continuance. Is my
I will file a formal motion to continue for the reasons I stated to the court yesterday. That case, I would ask to be continued. The only thing we were deciding yesterday, Your Honor, was do we move it to February the 8th or February 22nd? This is asking Molly which one was a better date. The 8th?
Which date?
8th.
we need to continue the trial date then. Shall I move it to the 26th of February?
That's fine, Judge.
All right. So it'll be continued to February 26th as an excluded period, and then he'll be ordered to reappear on February 8th. All right? That's in 2 weeks, sir. All right, you may be excused. 2017-52, State of Arkansas versus Wesley Bradshaw.
Your Honor, Mr. Bradshaw is here. Mr. Etheridge has given me a police statement. He works out of town. We were not able to go over that police statement yesterday. If you could pass his case, I need to discuss some issues with Mr. Etheridge, but we understand it's a plea deadline today, Judge.
Yes, we're good. I'll mark him to be called later. Is that the intention?
Yes, Judge.
All right. 2017-112, State of Arkansas versus Austin Hamby.
Your Honor, a plea offer has been made. Plea offer has been rejected. This is one of the cases that Mr. Etheridge and I think, intend on trying next week.
Okay.
Your Honor, we'll get with Paul and with the court's permission. The one reason it's an issue for us is we're gonna have to have some medical providers' testimony. We just need to know which day that is, so we have those providers available, Your Honor.
All right,
There's extensive medical records in this.
very well.
Your Honor, when I'm notified of the date, which I assume will be probably before, by Monday, David, then we'll notify Mr. Hamby and
All right.
he will be here.
Until then, you need to stay in touch with your attorney and be here on the, I guess, on the morning of the 29th unless otherwise notified.
I will.
All right. Well, you may be excused. 2017-176, State of Arkansas versus Derek Pennell.
And I think the court called Mr. Pennell last week, and he was not here last week. And I think he had called our office last week, and there was some issue of him being in Missouri and not being able to get here. I don't know if we heard anything from him at all.
Yes, the court granted, I'm looking at my docket entry, the court had granted a continuance from the 18th to the 25th on good cause. And he was ordered, based on that request for a continuance, he was given the request, continuance, it was continued to today's date. Is Mr. Pennell in the courtroom? Derek Pennell, or what did you say, Justin Pennell?
You know, our notes are not reflecting that we made any contact with Mr. Pennell after court last Thursday. It's also reflecting he's made no contact with us. I know I've had no contact with Mr. Pennell personally in a substantial period of time.
Is Derek Justin Levi Pennell in the courtroom, or anyone knowing the whereabouts of Mr. Pennell? Having specifically granted a continuance at his request last week to today's date, court will direct a warrant shall issue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
2017-188, State of Arkansas versus Chad McDaniel.
You know, if the court could recall that case, Chad is here. That's a case that David and I spent quite a bit of time with yesterday. I think we'll have a resolution. We know it's a plea deadline today.
All right, very well. Have a seat. 2017-238, Nicole Jenner.
You know, Ms. Jenner was called last week, and I'm sorry. All we were waiting on was the crime lab. We have that back, and she's indicated that she will be pleading later today. She did not know until she arrived today that the crime lab had come back.
All right, perfectly understandable. I'll mark it down to recall it later. You may be excused from it. 2017-254, State of Arkansas versus Jessica Bundy. Jessica Bundy.
She was notified. I think she was also called last week, Your Honor.
Well, on November 16th, the court granted a continuance from that date until January 29th as an excluded period, and ordered the defendant to reappear on January 18th. On January 18th, the defense requested a continuance, and the continuance was granted to today's date. Has she contacted the public defender's office since then?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Jessica Bundy, has she been in touch with you?
Your Honor, she has not.
Court's going to direct a warrant shall issue. We have 2017-262, 2017-269, 2017-282, State of Arkansas versus Rochelle Farnham.
Your Honor, we feel like that we're going to have a resolution of this case on all three cases. We did not have that today, and we're looking at trial for Rochelle starting next week. Mr. Etheridge and I are both comfortable with having her come back on February 8th, but we want the court, obviously the court has to be comfortable with that. So I would move that she be ordered to reappear on February the 8th on defense motion, and that the trial date be rescheduled to February 26th. If we don't reach a resolution, which we think we
Well,
will.
the third of those three cases is already set for the week of February 26th. So I'll make that the trial date for all three cases. The continuance in the first two will be as an excluded period. And then I'm going to have her reappear on February 8th. So that'll be it. In case 2017-262, the case is continued from today's date till to February 26th, and in 2017-269 again, it's continued until February 26th as an excluded period, and then she's ordered to reappear on February 8th for a possible plea. That'll be the order of the court. Now there's a scheduling order in 2017-282, which also orders her to reappear on February 22nd. There's a plea deadline, and if it's not resolved on February 8th, that will continue in effect. So that's the next appearance is February 8th on all three of these cases. You may be excused. It's your job to get in touch and stay in touch with Mr. Cooper, please.
Yes, I have been.
All right. You may be excused. (2017-266) State of Arkansas versus Chad Merriman.
Your Honor, he was here. And I have confirmed from a text from Mr. Pettigo that he has been retained.
Well, yeah, it's not the way to run the railroad, but and anyway, if he's not here, I do appreciate the fact he was here and that he informed you that he has employed new counsel, but that counsel hasn't even entered an appearance yet, and we're talking about trial on Monday. I'll call this case later. We need to get something clear on the record if we don't do anything else today. 2017-138, State of Arkansas versus Jimmy Tunnicliffe. There's also a civil forfeiture on the docket in case civil case 2017-102.
Your Honor, Mr. Tunnicliffe is on a plea deadline today. We went over in my office yesterday the plea offer. He went home and he thought about it. He is telling me that he is now rejecting that plea offer.
Okay. This matter is for trial this next week. Mr. Tunnicliffe, we're going the council's going to have to discuss it and then discuss it with the court. The case is, jury selection is supposed to start 9 o'clock Monday morning. We'll for right now, just anticipate being here at 9 o'clock Monday morning, and we'll try to get you word if it's set on a different day. So that'll have to be discussed after we now know who's going to trial, and because there are multiple cases set. So Right now, you're ordered to appear on Monday morning unless you hear from your attorney that it's been moved. So make sure you stay in touch with your attorney. All right? You may be excused. 2017-168, State of Arkansas versus Brian Sutterfield. Mr. Sutterfield, your case is set for trial during the week of February 26th. I'm directing you'll reappear on February 8th. There's a plea deadline date.
Okay.
All right, you may be excused until then, but stay in touch with your attorney.
Yes.
Yes, sir. 2017-270, State of Arkansas versus Michael Bolton.
Mr. Bolton is coming forward. There is no action to take in his case in either case, actually.
Does he have multiple cases?
I show 17-280 and 17-297.
I have
97 is Tyler Gibbs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was transposing him down, Judge. 17-270 is Mr. Bolton.
In 17-270, Mr. Bolton, your case is set for the week of February 26th. Your next appearance is ordered for February 22nd.
Yes, sir.
You may be excused until then.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Cooper, is there any reason that if I direct him to come in on February 8th, that we couldn't try to have any plea resolution done by that date? Because I know February 22nd is a hugely busy day. It's like one of those.
All right with you? That's fine, Judge.
All right. I'm going to make that, I'm going to change it from what's on the scheduling order of the 22nd. I'm moving it, reappear on February 8th in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that means in the meantime, you need to get in touch and stay in touch with Mr. Cooper, make an appointment and get in to see him between now and February 8th.
Yes, sir.
All right. You may be excused.
Thank you.
We have 2017-280, State of Arkansas versus Tyler Gibbs. There's also 2017-297, same defendant.
Mr. Gibbs is here. He met with me yesterday. There are no issues at pretrial today. Plea offers have been made in both cases. No action today.
All right. Mr. Gibbs, your next appearance in these cases, I'm just checking to make sure that in both, the same is true in both cases. It is. Your next appearance is February 22nd.
Yes, sir.
And it's your responsibility to get in touch with Mr. Cooper and be here on the 22nd, ready to move forward on your case or to enter a plea. But have it resolved. You need to get in to see him before that date so that we can have a resolution on that date. All right? So make an appointment.
All right. He's done that.